Hello everyone. So let's just quickly revise our previous class. In our previous class we have learned about DDL command. बोलनी है मम्मी ये बताते कैसे चलेगी. So we have learned about DDL command, data definition language. It is going to change the structure how the data table is going to be created. So we have learned about creating a table, right? Create a database, and we have changed the name of the column, and the queries which were not running yesterday, I have sent the updated one on the Telegram group. Change the data type of a column, right? So we have seen some kind of commands under this category of DDL, and we also have learned about the alter command. Okay, so now in this class we are going to see that further. Okay,
Mom, are you presenting your screen? I cannot see your screen.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to share my screen actually. Okay. So drop a column. Drop means to delete a column. Alter command is used to drop a column also. Let's say in our table there is a column called DOB. Two columns are there, DOB as well as DO and age, right? So if we already have the date of birth column present, then we do not need the column age anymore, right? So to delete a column we are also going to use the alter command. And what will be the syntax? Alter command is also used to drop a column. Drop means to delete a column. And the syntax would be alter, then the table, this keyword, then the name of the table, and then we have to use this again a keyword called drop, and name of the column address. So let's just quickly go to our database and see this in a real way. Okay, so this is our student table. I have changed the name of the student to student 1. We can also change the name of the table. So we have a column called DOB and DOB1. Here you can see that DOB and DOB1. So we have two columns with the same name but with different right. So we need to delete the last one, DOB1. So how can we do that? We need to use alter. We have the syntax like this one, alter, then this keyword table. We need to change the table. And what I want to do, I want to do this change in the student table. And next I want to drop this, so I will write drop keyword. And then which column I want to delete, I need to specify the column because I want to drop a column, right? So first of all we need to specify the drop command, and then we need to specify what we are deleting. So we are deleting column, so we will write column and then the name of the column. So I want to delete this DOB1. So select this one and press F5. it is going to delete this command. So this basically says that we have a dependent column. So let's say delete some other column, let's say age. Command completed successfully. So now this table should not have any age. This table should not have any age column. So let's select this, and you can see here as well as you can, let's select this table and make a refresh. So it is going to this age column is no more in this student table. So until now we have just seen the query part, right? But we can do the same task in a designing mode as well.
Ma'am, from the error a while ago, what does it mean that the column is an independent column?
Basically it means that we have a DOB column with date data type, and sometimes it's occur and message for this date data type. If it is some other data type, let's say integer for now, let's just see, and when I delete this column, now it is not going to show any error. It is basically because of whenever we have some data in our table, it sometimes shows this. So we need to change some settings before deleting that date time. So for now we'll just skip this one. Let's say whenever we delete this one, we are getting this object. This says df student dob something like this, which is dependent on column dob. So this is basically we need to change some setting before deleting any data type of date. Whenever I delete some other column, it is not going to show me any error. Here you can go for roll number. This is also going to delete. See, this error occurs only for date data type.
Why can't we not delete the
We can delete
DOB?
that, but before that we need to do some settings. So we will do it for later, because we are just
Okay.
learning about the basics right now. So now let's say we have written the queries for all of these, right? So now the designing part, how we can do the same task until now we have done, like creating a table, creating a database, renaming a table. All these tasks can be performed by the designing mode available in SQL. So let's say just create one more database. So I want to, we need to click on this database and new database, and then you need to specify the name of the database. So these steps are basically for in designing mode. Until now we have written the query, right? But we can do the same thing with the designing tool. So here you need to specify this to database name. So let's say test is my database name, test database. When after giving the name, you need to click on OK. So it is going to create a database for us. Alright, so after creating, you need to right click on this and you need to refresh this, only then it is going to show us. So here we have test database, but as we can clearly say here that we do not have any tables created yet, right? So this table section is empty for now. These are all the system files we are going to see in later classes, but for now we do not have any tables, right? Now let's say I want to create a table with some columns, right? So we have seen how to do so in a query mode. Now the designing part, you need to right click on this table section and new, and then go for table. After clicking this, you are going to get this kind of window. In this window you need to specify the columns one by one. Okay, so let's say I want to create a test ID is my going to be my primary key, and then what is the data type of this test ID? It is going to be of integer type. Same way you need to test details, this is a column, and this one should be varchar. So I will specify varchar of 500. After specifying all the columns, you need to right click on this and you need to click save table 1. After this, you need to specify enter a name for the table. So what the name of the table you would like to have? So I would like test details. So this is the name of the table. When I click OK button, it is going to create a table for us. When again I will refresh this section, this is going to show a table for us. Here we go. So after expanding this test details and then expanding the column section, you can see we have two columns, test ID and test details. Now what we have done through our query, we have changed the name of the table. So how we can do in the design section? Very easy. You just need to right click on this and you need to go here rename section. After clicking this rename, you are going to have this editing option here, and this editing option you can have any name you would like to update. So test description, let's say. After writing your new name, you can click on your enter button. So this is going to change the name of the table. Now let's say I want to change the data type of this test ID. How we can do that? You need to right click on this and you need to go for this design section. When you click this, you are going to again have a pop-up, something like the previous one while creating. So now you can edit whatever you want. You want to edit the name of the column, you can edit the data type of the column, you can add more columns to this section, you can delete some columns. So let's say I want to delete this test detail. So right click on this and click on this delete column. So it is going to delete this column, and after deleting you need to save one. So this is how it is going to be very easy in designing mode. Okay, so enough about designing mode. So to drop a column, what we have written something like this: alter table, then the table keyword and the name of the table, and this keyword drop, and what we are altering the column name. So we need to specify the column keyword again and change the name. I mean to drop this column, I want to drop this address column. So drop means basically to delete a column. So the above command will drop address column from the student table. Okay. Now truncate command. What is truncate meaning? Truncate command will remove all records from a table, but this command will not destroy the table's structure. Until now we have written some queries to change the structure, right? To change the structure. Structure means how it is going to look like. So we have a column added, we have deleted a column, we have rename any column, we have renamed any tables, we have renamed the database name, right? So we have, until now we have just changed the structure, right? But we forget about the tables, that in the column we do not have only columns, we also have rows, right? Rows means the actual data. Let's say I have a student table, and in this student table we have a ID, we have a name, we have an address column. So all the details is going to be filled by one student, right? So these are nothing but data, actual data. Actual data we have, right? So truncate command is basically not going to destroy the table structure, change the table structure, but it is going to remove all the records from a table, all the records. Let's say in my table I have 100 records of a student, 100 records of student, and I want to delete all the records, but I do not want to change any structure. I want the same structure but I want to delete all the datas. So what I can do, I am going to use the truncate command. Truncate command is basically to delete all the records. So when we apply truncate command on a table, its primary key is initialized. Okay, to delete all the records, we have two commands actually. One is delete and the other is truncate. Let's say in my this table, let's say insert some data first. I will just show the how to insert the data in designing mode. For now we are going to see the query in the next slide, but to understand this truncate we need to have some data in our table. So this is my test details. Okay, no, let's say add some data to this student database. We have a table called student database. In this database we have some tables. No, we do not have. This one is our table, sorry. So in this table school management we have a table called student. Now let's say I want to add some data. How can I do that? Again, very simple way. You need to right click on this table and choose this option, edit top 200 rows. After this a new window is going to open for us. Okay, in this we have only three columns: student name, dob and dob1. So let's say one student need to be added, Khushbu dob, let's say anything, and we need to specify the date format in something like this, right? We already have talked about this, that year, then month, and then date. So only this format is going to be accepted by this data. So this is how you can edit more datas to our database called. So we have specified something different. Okay, so we currently we have two datas in our student table, right? And I want to see this. So what the query you need to write? You need to write select star from the table name student 1 school management. Select means to show the details. Until now we have changed the structure, right? And this star means all columns. Star means all columns. I want to show all the columns values, so that's why you need to write star here. From, you want the list, but from where? I want the list from this student table. So select all the columns from this student table. So select this. Okay, select the whole query and then click on execute. It is going to show the list of students present in our student table, right? So currently we have two student tables, student data in a student table. Let's say I want to delete all the data. How can I do that? I can use the truncate command. Truncate. What you want to truncate? I want to truncate the table. Which table you want to truncate? I want to truncate this student table. So select again this and you can click on this execute button. Command completed successfully. Now again let's say I want to I am going to run this select query. Then this select query is, of course we do not have any data, so this query is not going to show any details because we have just deleted our all the data, right? So the same thing can be done via using the delete command. Delete from student. This is again going to delete all the records from the table, and this is also going to delete all the records from the table. Both this statement can be used. but obviously if we do have two command for the same thing, then there might be some differences between these truncate and delete, obviously. So we are going to see that. So basically truncate is, the syntax would be truncate and the name of what you want to truncate. I want to truncate the table, so I need to specify the table and the name of the table. All right. Now, the difference between truncate and delete command. I have just explained that the truncate table student and delete from student. The both command is going to delete all the records from the table, right? But obviously there will be some difference. So truncate command is different from delete command. Delete command will delete all the rows from a table, whereas truncate command will reinitialize a table like a newly created table. What does this mean? Uh, this basically is means, let's take an example of a factory or a user. Let's say I have a bottle of water bottle. I have a water bottle. When I am using this water bottle, obviously it is going to be dirty after some time. It is going to be dirty after some time. So what I will do, I will wash this bottle and this will be some clean format, right? We always do this in a clean format. But now the again bottle is dirty, and this time I do not use this dirty bottle to clean, to wash this, but I have sent this bottle to a factory. And what does this factory is going to do? It is going to completely create a new bottle, destroying this old bottle, right? Not destroying, but the format and the wash the factory is going to use is totally different than in our home wash, right? It is going to clean some part of the bottle, some part will remain dirty, right? And we can see that in new bottle it is completely new. It is shining very, it's shining very new, right? But after washing it is going to change the way it was previously, right? Whenever we buy something, it is different than what we have currently, right? But if I send the same bottle to the factory, it is going to clean this bottle in some way that it is going to be completely new one. It will look like a completely new one bottle, right? Is it happen? We use the recycling in our factory, and in recycling, or whatever old bottles is going to be, it is going to be completely new one, right? And we again are going to buy this bottle as a new one, right? We do so in the same way we can compare as home was as a delete command, and truncate can be compared as a factory was. Now what does this mean? It means is basically that, let's say add one more columns to this student table, then it will be more easy to understand the real meaning of truncate and delete. So let's say go to the design section, and in this section let's say add one more column, and we already have discussed about primary key, right? So let's now create a primary key. So let's say I want to create student ID. It is of integer type, and now let's say right click on this and you need to click on set primary key and then save this one. We can do the same via using the query, but we are going to look for later. Okay, and now let's say add some more data to this student table. So again we need to right click on this and edit top 200 rows. So it is going to show a window to edit some student details. So let's say one student ID, student name is Khushbu, and we have some data dob values. Okay, now let's say second student is Mira, and her dob is something different, and let's say student id 3, and it is going to be James, and his date of birth is different. Okay, so for now we have three datas in our student table. Okay, now what I am going to do is I am going to delete all the records. First I will use this delete command and then this truncate command. So let's say first use the delete command. Delete from student 1. What it is going to do? It is obviously going to delete all the records. So 3 rows affected. Affected means has been changed, it has been deleted, it has been updated. So anything can be happen. So for in this situation we have deleted all the records, right? So now let's select this query. So we can see here we do not have any student details, right? Okay. Now when I am going to use this delete command, it has been deleted all the records, right? And when you execute SQL, the all data is going to be deleted, right? And one more thing I forgot to discuss is about auto increment. I need to discuss this one first. Let's discuss this first, then it is going to be clear. Okay, there is a concept of auto increment. Auto increment means it is going to be increment by itself. We do not use to specify the values one by one. Let's say I have created a student table, and I have a ID column, and this ID column is our primary key. In this case, this ID should be always unique, right? Should be always unique, should be not null. We have seen all of these conditions of a primary key, right? So it should be not null and should be always unique, right? So whenever we insert some data as a programmer, we need to be very careful that whatever the value I am going to insert, it should be not present already. Let's say I have created a student id 1 Khushbu. Let's say one more student needs to be added, so I need to be very make sure that whatever the values has already as an id, I am not repeating the value. So let's say I again insert some more value, let's say 1. So when I again going to add this with another name, it is going to generate an error, right? It will show that this primary key is not unique. This primary key value is not unique. So as a programmer, always we need to take care of this uniqueness, right? But student id is basically to uniquely identify our students one by one. So what I will do, I am a smart programmer, let's say. I do not want to be very much tense about this creating a new column every time, new value every time. Let's say I have inserted 1, then 2, and let's say one more student came to me and says that please submit my details. So first of all I need to go through my student tables and see whatever the value is already present. I am not going to write the same column, right? So what actually I will do is I will use the auto increment option. Auto increment option. What this option will actually do is it is going to increment the value of IDs. It is going to increment the values of ID itself. We do not need to bother about that. let's say there is already a student, first student, so it is going to create a id with 1. Then in the second one it is all going to 2, then this 3, then 4, right? So it is going to be auto incremented. I have set the auto increment to start with 1 and or by 1, increment by 1. So what it is going to do, whenever I insert any data, let's say it is the first data, then it is going to insert the table id as a 1. And let's say I added one more detail, so because we already have 1, so it is going to increment by 1. So 1 plus 1, which is going to be 2. So the next id is automatically going to be 2. The third id is going to automatically be 3. But we can change this. We can use the auto increment option. Let's say I do not want to start the student id from 1, I want to start the student id from 100. So what can I do? 100, 101, 102, I want something like this. So how can I do that? In auto increment option we need to specify the start and the value which is going to be added each and every time. So I want to start with 100, and whenever a new record is going to create, it is going to be incremented by 1. So I will write 1. Let's say I want to start the 100, but the next should be 102, 104, 106. I want to add each and every time plus 2. So how can I do that? Again I need to write 100 and I want to add 2 every time. So this auto increment option can be used for primary key, and we are going to always use this option because as a programmer we do not want to bother about inserting unique values each and every time. I give this task to my tool to do so. I do not want to bother about that. So what I'm going to do for that, you need to right click on your student table, go to the design section, and here you need to specify the auto increment value for the primary key. So we have a primary key called student id, right? And I want to set the student ID as a auto increment. So how we can do that? You just need to click on the properties section. You can click on F4. After selecting this tab, you need to click on F4. So it is going to pop up a properties window. In this properties windows, you will have an option identity column. And which column is identity column? It is student ID. After that you need to save this. And here we have some more options. Let's say I want to define a default value. So here you can specify your default value. But for primary key we do not usually specify default value, right? Because we already have set this to auto increment, right? So now whenever I add some values, I do not want to specify the student ID value. I can skip this value. Let's have a practical. So again go to the edit option, and this time you do not need to specify the student ID because we have set this as an auto increment, right? So what the values I want to insert? I want to start Khushbu, name of the student, DOB of the student, and that's it. You need to click on tab button. We do not have set this correctly, or what the problem? Let's again go to the properties section. We have name, student ID, wait just a minute. Okay, I think the designing option is not available, so we can go for query. I want to set this student ID as a auto increment, right? So what I need to do, it is our primary key, right? Already we have a primary key, so set auto increment in SQL. So the query would be something like this: identity 111. So we already have. Is it not visible to you? Hello?
I think you have the screen problem.
Okay. Is it same with you, Mira?
I can see your screen, ma'am.
I think you have some
Maybe
network
not for
issue.
you.
You can disconnect and connect again. I think you have some. We have set this as an increment. Then why it is not incrementing the value? Okay, I think there is some problem with my. We have just created one student with the student ID 1. Let's say again add more details. And we do not specify the ID column because it is set to auto increment. When I click on the tab button, and then you need to specify execute SQL. So here you go. We have a student ID to auto incremented value. So we have set one auto incremented and start with 1. So that's why it is always going to increment by 1. So let's one more row. So this one should have an ID of 3, right? Here you go. You have a student ID with 3. So this is just a newly created student and we have added some data, right? When I apply this delete command, then look what will going to be happen. When we delete this, it is going to 3 rows affected. Now again execute SQL. So it is going to update the value. So here we can see that we do not have any data, right? Now let's one more row should be added. Now let's see what the difference is going to happen. Right, here you go. What the ID of the student is? It is 4. Why? It is the first row in our column, right? Then why it is 4? It should be 1, right? So what basically happens to the truncate and delete command, the difference is that let's explain this in our tab. So the difference between the delete and truncate command is that whenever you apply a delete, it is going to work as a home was. We have the same bottle but some clear, I mean more clear than previous, right? It is dirty and when we apply the home wash, it will be a clean one. But again, this is the old one bottle, right? This is not the new one. This is the same bottle with some more improvements, more cleanness, right? So the same thing happened with the delete command. Whenever we apply the delete, let's say we have 3 rows, student ID of the value 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so whenever I apply the delete command, it is going to delete all the records, and when I insert more data to this ID would be 4. Why? Because we have just deleted the records. We haven't changed the structure of the table, we haven't changed anything. It is the same table, but with new values, right? So it is going to, whatever the last value it is going to be here, the value would be the increment of 1. So this is the case when we apply delete. But what the truncate command do? Truncate will delete all the records. Truncate, let's say this is our truncate, and we have id 1 2 3. Okay, and when I apply the truncate command, means the factory was, it is going to create this table as the new one, as the new one. So whenever now I will insert any data, it is going to have a record of 1 2 3. It doesn't matter what was the last value in our previously we have used the truncate in this the same table. This is the same table which we have previously, but whenever we apply a factory was, it is going to be completely a new one. So the insert value, whenever we apply, it is going to start with the auto increment we have set. So we have set 1 1. So start with 1 and always increment with plus 1. So this will be the value of 1. So this is the actual difference of truncate and delete. Are you getting my point or any confusion in this?
Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, can you repeat how we did the auto incrementing? I missed that one.
Okay, let's just a second.
Thank you.
So what you need to do for now, we haven't seen the query. We are going to see the query for auto increment. But for now you can go this design option, and from here you need to click on the properties section. And by default we have a set of 1 1, means 1 start with 1 and always increment with 1. So this identity column, whatever the column you want to select as auto increment, you can select here. So all the integer data type value is going to be seen here. So we have only one student id with integer data type, right? So this is only in the drop down option. Let's say add one more id, one more id column, and this is also of integer data type. And when I click again on the property section, it is now going to have a two columns, student and id. So whatever the column I want to select as auto increment, I can select from here. But again, only one column can be set as auto increment at a time. Okay, so usually we go auto increment for this only primary key. We are going to see the query for that, and that's very simple. Again, what you need to have is that this query, you just need to write while creating the table. Here you can see this create table student, and inside this you need to specify, let's say I want student id as a primary key. So what will I write? I will write the primary key. And what I again want to have a identity of start 101 and then always increment by 1. So while creating your table, you can write something like this query: create table, name of the table, let's say I want to student table I want to create. Inside this you will specify column one by one, right? So let's say I want to add a student id column in, and then the data type, so it should be integer data type. Now again, what I want to do, I want to set this student id as a primary key, so I will write primary key. And again, what I want to do, I want to set this as a auto increment, so I will write identity, and here you can specify start value and always increment by which. So I want to start this with 10 and always increment by 2. So it is going to insert the data with 10 value, and it is always going to increment by 2. So 10 plus 2 12, 12 plus 2 14. So this is going to be completely like this. So while creating this, you can specify your primary key, you can specify the auto increment value, all those stuffs. Okay, so come to the main point. We have discussed about truncate and delete command. So truncate command is basically as a machine was, and truncate command is basically as a home was, and delete sorry. So truncate command is basically as a factory was, and delete command can be compared as a home was. Home was will improve some quality, but it is going to be the old one and not completely new one, right? It is not going to look like a completely new one bottle, but in the case of factory was, it is going to be look like as a new, completely new one. So this is the same case with delete and truncate. When we apply delete, it is going to have be the same table with the incremented value which we have the last case of, but in the case of truncate, this is going to be a completely new one table for us now. Okay, now drop command. Drop is basically to delete some columns. Drop query completely removes a table from the database. This command will also destroy the table structure. Table structure means, let's say I have a student table and I completely want to delete this table. Whatever the data will be there, whatever the structure, whatever the columns, all the table I want to delete. Structure plus data, both I want to delete. So in this case, what can I do? I am going to use the drop command. Let's say in the case of our student table, we have some data, right? And now let's say drop this. Drop what I want to drop. I want to drop the table. Which table? Student 1. So this is going to completely remove this table from our database. Command successful. Now let's again refresh this table section, and you are going to see that we do not have any table right now, because we have just completely removed this student table from our database. So drop command is basically to completely remove this table from our database. And we already have seen the syntax for this, so that's not again a big deal. And we can also drop our database as well. Let's say I have a database called school management, right? We have a database, this one, and I also want to delete this database completely. So whatever the tables will be inside, it is also going to be deleted. So the same query you can write drop, and this time I do not want to drop a table, but I want to drop a database, so I will write database here. And which database I want to drop? I want to drop this school management. So this is going to completely drop our database currently in use, because we have opened this window. So we need to delete this one, and now again run this. Okay, so in temporary file in Windows, sometimes it is not going to execute, but from design side you can do this here, delete. You just need to right click on this school management database and click delete option, and you need to click on this close existing connection. So we have just written some queries, right? So that's why window is expecting that it is still in use, so that's why that query is not executing right now. So we need to specify this close existing connection. So whatever the connection has been made up till now with this database, it is going to be closed first, and then it is going to delete this database. So here we go. So we do not have any database called student management. Now rename query. As the command going to be expected, it is going to rename a table. So how we can rename a table? Rename, this keyword is need to be used, then the table, old table, new old table name, then this two, and this new table name. So this query is actually very complicated, or you can say some of the tool is going to use this one, or someone do not recognize this, right? So it is going to be run somewhere or somewhere not, but this sp rename this is always going to be used. So for some tool it is going to be use this query, and for someone this one show an error. So I have just tested this query in my tool, but it doesn't execute it, right? So I have find the alternative. We have this one. So let's say I want to rename a table. So how we can do that? I need to specify this sp underscore rename, and after that you need to specify the old table name comma the new table name you want to have. Okay, now the insert command. Insert command as basically can be expected to insert any data. Insert the data to our database. And database is basically a collection of tables. So obviously we are going to insert data inside our tables, right? So we are going to look this insert command in our next class. But for now we can. So we are going to see the insert command and delete command options in the next class. So thank you for today.
Thank you, ma'am. See you later.
Yeah. क्या बोल रहे हो?
अरे पिन कोड यहाँ पे क्या है?
827013 कहाँ आया? कहाँ है?
आया है मतलब इधर ही चास मतलब यहीं का तुम्हारा जो पार्सल ऑर्डर करती है ना फ्लिपकार्ट से वही वाला डाला था तो फिर लोकेशन बता ये कर रहा है बोल रहा है बोलने के लिए
तो बोलो
कॉल करेगा तब ना कॉल आएगा तब बोलेगी ना
बोलना बिहार कॉलोनी आई है बिहार कॉलोनी में यहीं का है ना वो बोलना ग्रीनलैंड स्कूल के पास है
ग्रीनलैंड स्कूल
बिहार कॉलोनी आई है बिहार कॉलोनी में ग्रीनलैंड पब्लिक स्कूल के पास आई है अब बिहार कॉलोनी चास में है ये तो पता होगा उसको
हाँ चास लोकेशन तुम्हारा वो फ्लिपकार्ट से ऑर्डर की थी ना
हाँ।
उसी से वो दिया तो वही
ये हो गया काम
नहीं अभी इसको फिर इसमें डालेंगे
कि दिल तोड़ना पड़ जाए